My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jakey Boy and I are going to break down the entire UFC Noche card, the entire UFC 306 card, the entire Mexican Independence Day fight card, brought to you by Sports from the Middle East. We're going to give you our picks, predictions, bets, and our DraftKings plays. Dana White has been talking about, Jacob, that this is a once-in-a-lifetime event.
He's been talking about Jacob.
He has been talking about you. He's been saying this is
He's been talking about the lock of the week.
Everybody is. It's
they're trying to shut it down.
Genuinely,
you should see the. At this point, it's getting bad. The cease and desist and the lawsuits coming in and the books emailing me like, please stop. And it's I've got two. I got an assistant and basically two secretaries now trying to deal with all of it. It's crazy.
I mean, I get it. The people banging on the door, your address got leaked. I can't imagine it's been easy for you. But what Dana White's been talking about, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. He's going to tell the story of Mexican combat sports. Between every fight, there's a new chapter to that story. So I said, you know what? Let me take our viewers through a story, Jakey Boy. And I'm going to start with the story that was UFC Vegas 97. We crushed that card. We absolutely crushed that card. If you go to Twitter, it's just a deserted wasteland of lost bets and missed opportunities. But not here at We Want Picks. Jakey Boy put up 43% ROI. Angie Baby put up 23% ROI. We gave you several units, almost 5 units of net profit last week. And if we continue that story, Jacob, let's zoom out. Let's look at the broader story. Let's look at the last 10 events. If we look at the last 10 events, here is how I did, here is how Jacob did, here is how we did as a combined unit. Everybody is up across the board as a combined unit over the last 10 UFC events. The story of We Want Picks would tell you that we are up almost 20 units. We have a 20% ROI over the last 10 events. And if we continue this story, Jacob, and we zoom out even
better
farther.
Than all those shit-brained fucking Twitter experts. Those fucking Patreon fucking losers that just chase these wild, stupid fucking parlays and just throw random shit-ass money on dogs. And now all of a sudden the dogs aren't winning every single week. And it's like, hold on tight, guys. It's okay. Everything will be okay. It's like, fucking bet it won't.
This is me saying, this is me at church preach. We cross piss streams at one point? Because that's me. You're doing the everybody else is an idiot. Patreon is stupid, and I love it. This is what all of 2024 pay-per-views have looked like for me and the snake, or salamander, Jake the snake, whatever you want to call him. There were 9. The snake.
What did you say?
There were 9 pay-per-view events in 2024 so far. This is the 10th. Of those 9, we have been profitable in 7 of them. Of those profitable events, the total is over 12 units, more than 1 unit per event in profitability, a 12% ROI only from the pay-per-views. At this point, the sales pitch should be over. This story is almost over. We have a ton of year left. We have a lot of events left. And if you sign up to become a premium member today, you get 4 events. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 an entire month. I don't know what else anybody has to do to convince you it's the easiest, most well-spent, most incredible value on this planet. It's freaking $10, you cheap bastards. And it's not just some bets. Go ahead.
I was going to mention as well, just to kind of tag on to there. Obviously, Lock of the Week's been running hot, not just recently, but the entire year. And I mentioned this in my Lock of the Week video. Guys, this is a very simple process. This is a print money process, okay? And I designed it this way for a reason. Lock of the Week is always free. The videos are demonetized. The pick is free. All the time I put in there, I get nothing for those picks, for those videos. What I do is I allow you guys to win money. Lock of the Week's up almost 40 fucking units at this point, lifetime. This year, I can't remember what the number is, but it's just an astronomical number. This is what happens, guys. You take the free pick, Lock of the Week, and if you make money and you're not a premium member, use that free money that you just got, become a premium member for only $10 a fucking month, and that in turn will hopefully help you build even more money. And then by becoming a premium member, then Angelo gets money and I get a portion of it as well. So it's like, just seems like an infinite money glitch to me.
Everybody gets money. You get money. Artem gets money if it's through him. Josh gets money. I get money. All from that underdog lock of the week that, as you pointed out, it's in two things. After the event was over last week, I was texting you two things. One, it's insane that we're both up money every week. Like, that's insane. I don't know how it's happening. Obviously, we're making bets that we think are going to win, but it's crazy when they do every freaking week.
I put in the work, so.
Well, me, I'm just throwing darts, and I've got pretty accurate hands for some reason. And the lock of the week streak has been unbelievable.
I'm not surprised, though. That's what every time a fucking lock of the week hits, and people are like, "Wow, I can't believe that hit." Yeah. It's like fucking. That's why I call it a fucking lock. Like, they're not all gonna hit, but every single time I do the fucking research, so when stuff hits, I'm not really that surprised. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, they're not flyers. They're like literally your tent pole bets. You usually have the most amount of money on those fighters, so it's not. They're not flyers, but. Premium membership is obviously going to get you all the bets, picks, tools, and everything else. One of those tools is the data analyzer. You go to WeWantPicks.com, you go to tools, you click on the data analyzer, you're going to get data, insight, information, charts, graphs. You can filter it, you can export it, you can even click the little buttons and watch the fights themselves. You're also going to get the Prop Hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. You're going to get the line movement tracker. This is going to give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, and line movement for every fighter on every card. You're going to get the DraftKings Optimizer preloaded with the best DraftKings projections in the game. And you're going to get more than me and Jakey Boy. You're going to get Artem giving you his picks and bets for regional shows. Dana White Contender Series, LFA, PFL. You're going to get the artificial intelligence picking fights at a remarkable accuracy. Every single thing I just mentioned. 30 other things I didn't mention. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 for an entire month. And here's the events you're going to get for this month. If you sign up now, you're going to get UFC 306. You're going to get the UFC Paris card, then UFC 307, and then the fight night with Royval and Tatsuro Taira. 4 events for freaking $10. It's $2.50 event. What the hell are we talking about? WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We got a couple of Super Chatterooskies here, Jacob. We have a couple of new YouTube members. Thank you for that very much. Greatly appreciated. YouTube members, you don't really get anything special, but I mentioned on the call-in show, if we have videos that we've pre-recorded and we're not making them live for whatever reason, like if I'm busy on a Sunday and I record on a Saturday, I'll put that up for members ahead of time. Same with Artem's videos. $2 super chat from Mike Hawk. Thank you, guys. Please go to the Sphere. Jacob and I talked about it. We were coming off the high of UFC 303. We're like, we should do the Sphere. Then you texted me the ticket prices. And we were like, oh, okay.
I think it's pretty affordable now.
Now it is. And there was a part of me the other day that was like, do we just do it? Because you and I missed out on that opportunity to watch Conor McGregor fight like 3 years ago because we were too cowardly to hop on a plane at the last second. And this is a similar situation. But, you know, I ordered a brisket. So ship is
I'm going to the Apex October 19th. Front row again. Can't wait.
I saw that. That's not 100, is it?
No.
I was going to say,
because that's 99, but it's actually a good Apex card. It is. Michelle Pajeda.
It's this one.
It's and Fluffy. It's the it's this one.
Wait, it's not Tatsuro Taira?
No, it's Michelle Pajeda and Fluffy, and it's Gene Matsumoto's on there. Charles Johnson's on there. Fucking Asu's on there. A lot of young people. I'm excited.
Yeah, it does seem like a good card. And I Jacob asked me like 2 months ago, you want to go to the Apex? I said, yeah. And then he floated some dates out, and then I was like, I can't. And I will have FOMO. I mean, kids, man. These fucking kids. The minute I leave this house, everything falls apart. We got a
Darren Elkins, Indiana Zone. Darren Elkins versus Daniel Peda. Brady Heiston, Jake Hadley. Matthias Nicolau versus Asu. Brad Katona, my dude G. Matsumoto. Kyler Phillips and Rob Font. Austin Lane and that big Robles dude. Charles Johnson.
Oh, they're trying to get Robles back on track. That's funny.
Elise Reed, Jessica Pena. It's a stacked card. It's a good Apex.
I mean,
card.
that is that for a fight night, that actually is pretty good. We have 279 Canadian from Neil. He says, thank you, Dan. And honestly, thank you, Dan, because we get to see this fight. Then we have, oh, God.
How's the health doing?
Before we went live, I told Jacob, I said, I genuinely, I'm not being facetious, I think I may have throat cancer because this voice issue is going on a month, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Something's happening.
What was my suggestion?
That I go see the same doctor that carved it out of you?
No, I said you might as well just...
start smoking.
Yeah,
That's
you might as well just start throwing down some cigarettes at this point. Enjoy it.
Earn it. Yeah, earn the voice. I mean, that is a good point. You did say, hope it goes as well for you as it did for me or something like that.
No, I said, let's see if you...
Oh, yeah. I got that karma coming because of all the fucking sun allergy jokes.
Yeah. And we'll see how that turns out for you because I've been saying this whole time, you better... Karma's not a bitch, it's a mirror.
If I died of that, of a cancer, just let's say specifically skin cancer, after all the jokes I made, would you clown me in whatever eulogy or speech that you do? I honestly would hope you did, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going.
Why wouldn't you go? You wouldn't go to my funeral?
I don't know. I'm not a funeral guy.
Okay, well, I'm specifically requesting you. I will die before you, so it's on you now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna.
David Rios says, "Are you guys betting on Canelo?" I don't know boxing. I don't know enough about it. I imagine Canelo's a minus 2,000 favorite. Is that a correct statement? You'd follow it a little bit.
Are you asking me?
Know. Yeah.
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, same here. And then Mike again, prices went down. Do it. My issue is just logistics. If I was not with children, maybe. I'm not usually a spontaneous kind of guy.
I got another late second invite too to come to Vegas this weekend from my dude Marcus, but I just dropped that money on those fucking Apex tickets, and then I'm gonna go to Tampa in December too. I figured it out after.
You're doing both. Shit.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, I'm going to fucking Tampa.
Good for you.
After the year's over, with the Apex and then going to Tampa too, it's going to be about $30,000 I've spent on UFC.
Live events? Jesus.
Yeah.
You were the one that was...
I've been paying for two people every time
Yeah.
So.
You going with Donnie again?
Huh?
Oh, okay. Got my answer.
Or in December?
Yeah, October.
October?
I got my answer. We're good. You were the one who was advocating a subscription, like whatever it is, $10,000 a year, and you get whatever you said. I forget what you said.
It's a great idea. Yeah,
it is a good idea.
Yeah, like season tickets, basically. You can You can buy like season tickets to the Apex because they have like, I mean, what it's got to be 30, 40 events there a year. So it's like So it's like I offer a season ticket package where you don't go to every single one, obviously, but you can pick from
5
Apex,
or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, you pick like 3 Apex events, or offer it to where you get like a certain package where you get 3 Apex events at a pay-per-view event or whatever that just guarantees you tickets, and you get some other bonuses with it. It's like if there was a package like that was like $15,000, $20,000, it's like, yeah, would be interested in fucking signing up for that.
I agree with that, and I also agree if they went and they're never going to do it, the WWE model with pay-per-views where they, you know how like WWE, you pay a monthly fee and it's all included. That would be sweet as well. I'll pay, whatever.
I think the issue is they don't really need to sell season tickets because they sell at every event.
Every single thing.
The reason why you want season tickets is to lock people in as long as they can and all that stuff with tickets. So they probably don't need something like that. But it'd be cool if they put together like a VIP
rewards program,
like a VIP
or something.
Tickets for true, like real fans that can call themselves season ticket holders and stuff, and just
Oh, I don't disagree with you at all. Support the most supportive people. Before we go ahead and break down this card, here is the address. We do mail day for the vlogs. This vlog, I am looking at a pile of mail. One of them is a very offensive piece of mail that was very embarrassing because I had to sign for it. I'll open that on the vlog. We got a couple other things as well. If you want to send mail, we have a letter. There is a letter from somebody. I don't know what it is because we haven't opened it yet, but it will be opened on the vlog. If you do want to send some stuff to be opened, reacted to, eaten, all the things, it is We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. We've only got 10 fights on this card, but I think they're 10 pretty good fights, and we're about to jump in and break them down. Any last words, Jakey boy, before we hammer Shawiwi?
Lock of the week video is already out, so go check that out. The traction it's getting this week is kind of crazy.
Dude, the likes are fucking. So it had 500 likes in like an hour.
It was over 1,000 already, I think. It's definitely.
Is it the most liked video ever yet?
I think already, and it's only been up for 8 hours or something like that.
Well, I mean, the streak you're on, the effort you put in.
The highlight, that video, I fucking love putting that video together. It took me so fucking long.
Dude,
all those clips and everything. And
I legit, here's a raw, okay, for everybody. Jacob and I had a little dust up on Monday. You did that video. I'm watching the video live. And I know you did this to troll me. I know you did. And it worked. Because I was like, is this motherfucker like quitting, retire? Is this a farewell to himself?
You know what's actually funny about that is I literally was gonna record me at the very end of that, being like, "That's it, guys. It's been fun. I wish you well," and then have it go black. That literally was in my thoughts, and then have it just go black for like 3 or 4 seconds, and then come back and be like, "Angelo, I hope that fucking scared the shit out of you."
It did scare the shit. It did.
But dude, if I had that means if I had that tag on there, your heart would have probably fucking dropped. Because I was in the shower the night after I made it, thinking like, what else can I? Because every time I do one of these videos,
it was to troll me. No?
Every time I do one of these videos, like I will literally play, like when I make these highlight tapes or anything, this is how dedicated I am. After I have it, I'll send it to you and like Jordan and some other people, and I would literally watch it 50 to 100 times over and over and over and over, thinking, where can I prove this? Where can I? And in the shower, I'd already watched it like 10 times before I got in the shower. And in the shower, I was like, oh my God, I bet I could scare the fucking shit out of Angelo, because it is it was just a recap of the whole year. I wanted to do something. It was a little bit troller for you, but I also wanted to do something special because I knew it was going to get a bunch of traction for this card. Yeah. So I was like, let me show off everything that not only the lock of the week, but the lock of the week videos. It wasn't
just lock of the week. That's what had me scared.
Well, yeah, and those lock of the week videos, and then I need a few more clips. So I was like, let me just add in other things that I did for the year and stuff as well. And then and I literally when I was in the shower, I was like, if I add this little tagline like, hey man, it's been fun, guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm out. And then just black screen. I was like, I bet that would scare the shit out of Angelo. I was like, nah.
It scared me. So it dropped. I was mentally in a bunch of wild places, and I got the alert from Discord. The video was posted. I said, oh, thank God. Then I started watching it, and I texted Josh. I'm like, lock of the week is up. And he goes, great. That means all good things. And then I start to see that it's a montage of not just lock of the week shit. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my fucking God, this motherfucker. And then it's me cursing at you. From that, me cursing at you wasn't even publicly aired, right? That was just me cursing at you.
Oh, that's just my special little clip. Yeah. I don't even know how I ended up with that, but it was like recording somehow, but it never went live, or like we weren't live yet, or I can't remember how that even
I don't know how you got it either, because I'm the one who has the recording. I know. So yeah. So and
Stupid
then that hit.
Mouth motherfucker.
You could tell like that was like, it would be funny if I had like anger when I said it, like when I called you a pussy after Kai Kara France one, if I was like aggressive. But I heard that, I'm like, I think we're okay. And then I watched every second of that fucking video. I'm like, I think we're good. So I was like, he did that to fuck with me. I know he did. I know him too well. Everything with Jacob is an Easter egg. It's well thought out. Nothing is just off the cuff. So I was like, all right, he's fucking with me. So thank you for that. $2 super chat from, listen guys, you're not going to catch me to say some stupid shit I shouldn't be saying.
Cream pie.
Kareem pie. Jacob and Angelo are going to cash out.
What's a cream pie? Oh, like a sugar cream pie?
Yeah, you're in the bakery. Pie? You're in the bakery business.
Cream pie, sugar cream pie, key lime pie. Anytime I think of key lime
Chili
pie,
dog.
You think of what? When you think of key lime pie, what do you think of? You should know it.
Honestly, anytime you say key lime pie, I think of that show that you didn't watch that I told you to watch that was slow as fuck.
No, but you go a step further. You're close, but that's a terrible show, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't
Dexter,
like it.
There's an episode with Dexter, the perfect key lime pie. It's a big Dexter episode when what's her name dies.
Dexter's coming back. Two different versions of it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch 100 seasons. I don't care how shitty the endings are. I'll just keep fucking watching it.
I can't. Once they get bad, I can't do it. Prison Break. I didn't watch the new ones. I'm trying to think of some others off the top of my head. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. But
I'll watch. If it's a show I love, like Dexter, I don't care how shitty it is. I will just watch it. Make more. Make 100 of them. He's old. It sucks. I'm going to keep watching.
Did we figure out what cream pie was?
My diabetes is telling me don't.
Sounds like
answer
your
that
mouth is a little bit of a cream pie right now.
question. Some spicy Latin burn the throat. Okay, Jesus Christ. I got to eat the lot. Dude, I'm going to die of throat cancer, and everybody's going to feel bad for being mean to me.
No, they're going to have a little party probably because of the way you treated me.
Dude, you and I, we're literally like brothers. We argue like brothers, and you are one of the biggest go down with the ship arguers I've ever met in my entire life. So I was heading down that path too. Like I will twist and turn and I'll make shit up to win this argument. That's
They're putting odds on their throat cancer now?
Yeah. -1. Oh, even money. What's the OBJ at the end? How'd they get that in there?
OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., baby.
Yeah, but that's all right. All right, let's go ahead and break this down. Opening up the UFC 306 fight card, we have Raul Rosas Jr. as the biggest favorite on the entire card, taking on Aoriqileng. Raul Rosas Jr. is 9-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that submission win over Ricky Turcios. He's taking on Aoriqileng. Aoriqileng 25-11 in his long career, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that no contest with Daniel Marcos. We all know Rosas Jr. at this point, nonstop grappler. He has showed some power. A couple fights ago, he knocked somebody outstanding. He has 12 takedowns in 5 fights with 24 minutes of control time. If he is in control of the grappling and he gets the takedowns, it is very hard to make something else happen. Striking still needs some work. I know he knocked somebody out, but his striking still needs a little bit of work. He can be reckless, and he does put himself into harm's way. He's fast, he's athletic, sets a relentless pace. He's still super, super young, and he's coming off that win over Ricky Turcios where, guys, don't just look at the result on paper and think it was easy pickings. At one point, Raul was the one who had his back taken, and he was in some trouble. He's taking on Aoriqileng, well-rounded guy, good pressure, good pace. He can fight technical, or he can get sucked into a firefight. He uses his striking to set up takedowns. He does have 7 takedowns in the UFC, but he is typically a striker. And he's coming off that no contest I mentioned with Daniel Marcos, where his testicles were kicked up into his throat. Aoriqileng is tough. He's a pretty durable guy. He's certainly well-rounded enough to hang. He could even potentially end up in a situation where he has Raul in a little bit of trouble like Ricky did. But this should be Raul Rosas all day, every day. The takedown should be there. The control should be there. The submission is probably there as well. Raul Rosas is going to be the pick. That shouldn't surprise anybody. The odds actually make a lot of sense to me. And this is set up for a reason. It's the first fight of the night for a reason, to kick off the card with a big win for Mexico and an exciting fight, because Raul Rosas is usually exciting if he doesn't gas. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Not much to it. Raul Rosas should roll. I think the odds have gotten a little bit away from me doing anything with him. I'm not going to, minus 800 do anything with that, but he's the pick, and I think he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, pretty straightforward, frankly. You're not worried that he won't finish Aoriqileng and then he might get tired or gets too excited, ends up in some dumbass position like he did in his last fight?
Nope. He should be fine.
I agree. $9,700 in DraftKings Fantasy. That's a ton of money. It's not the $9,900 that we had last week, but that is a ton of money. Frankly, he is probably worth it because there's a bunch of 7,000 price fighters that I like on this card as well. You going to throw him in your lineup, or you think that's too far gone also?
Probably.
There we go. If you do want to unlock the picks, the bets, the round line leans, the artificial intelligence, and everything else that we do, it's freaking $10 a month. You're going to get 4 events for that $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We have another 5 spot, Jake Korach. Because of your guys' picks last week, I'm taking my kids on a mini vacation this weekend. Thank you guys for the bets, the tools, and the entertainment. I mean, love to see it. I wouldn't be betting money you can't afford to lose, and it sounds like this is just a little bit of extra money, and you're spending it wisely. So thank you for the 5 spot, and enjoy your little vacation. We had a great, Jacob was up money, I was up money. I went 10-2 on picks. Jacob picked the only underdog on the card. Biggest underdog of the year. I mean, unbelievable. Great stuff coming out of WeWant.
Yeah, people are like, biggest of all time. It's like, no.
That was the dude who beat Onama, right? That was Nate Landwehr.
Nope.
Who was it?
Close. I think he was 285.
The dude who beat Ludovic? Or was Ludovic?
Was plus 375 versus Mason Jones.
Yeah, dude, Mason. Where's that bum?
He actually, I think he's like on a 4-fight winning streak since he left the UFC or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I haven't.
Yeah, like back in Cage Warriors or something.
Yeah, there you go. Next up at UFC 306, we have Edgar Chairez taking on Joshua Van. Joshua Van is stepping up on short notice here as Edgar's first opponent dropped. Edgar Chairez 11-5, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that submission win over Daniel Lacerda. He's taking on Josh Van, 10-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off his first ever UFC loss. This will be a decent matchup because Edgar is a pretty well-rounded guy. He's got good striking offense. It's fast. It's in your face. Takedowns are decent. His BJJ is very good. He's nice and long. The real issue for him, though, is that he is hittable. His face turns into a punching bag. He's got a good enough chin that it doesn't matter entirely, right? He'll hang for it. He'll come forward. He'll throw long kicks. He'll bot you up. He'll try to snatch something in a scramble, maybe a single leg, and rip you to the ground. He is coming off that win over Daniel Lacerda where he was losing the fight and then made it happen. He's taking on short notice Josh Van. Solid striker, good aggression, some bit of power there. He's only 22 years old, so he's improving very, very quickly between every single fight. He's this new generation of fighter, so even though he's primarily a striker, he can do everything everywhere. He does a nice job looking for things in scrambles, making people work. He's coming off that knockout loss to Charles Johnson, where he was a step behind before ultimately being finished in the 3rd round, and that was a bad look. Not because of anything really other than Charles Johnson knocking somebody out in the 3rd round standing. That was tricky because Charles Johnson's a very good fighter and we picked him to win, but we thought he was going to win with his accurate striking and the movement, the precision, the volume. But it was just raw power in the 3rd, and we hadn't seen that since Jimmy Flick.
It's a pretty precise shot.
And it was powerful, and it pushed Josh Van down. Dude, Josh Van to be 22 years old, to get knocked out late in the 3rd, a little tricky. I still think he wins here because Josh Van is good. He's aggressive. He will move forward, and Edgar Chairez does not have the footwork, the accuracy, the speed that Charles Johnson does. So Edgar Chairez is just going to be a stand. Oh, ho, bless you.
It's a real man fucking sneeze.
That was, well, I don't think it was, but it was manlier than what I did for sure. Edgar Chairez is just going to be just sort of a stationary target. Josh Van's going to take advantage of that. Josh Van is the pick. What do you think, Chicky boy?
Yeah, I agree. Not a whole bunch to add there. Josh Van should just be the overall better fighter. I mean, he wants to go to the ground. He should be able to survive. If he wants to keep it standing, he should be the cleaner boxer. I do worry about, the young kid coming off a big KO loss. Is he going to come in a little bit hesitant? Is he going to try and just completely change up the game plan where usually he was just a forward pressure striker that kind of got him into trouble? So is he going to stay back a little bit more? Is he going to kind of counter-strike a little bit more? Is he going to try to wrestle a little bit more to try and, stay away, what his chin tested? If he starts wrestling when he's not normally wrestling and he starts getting tired, and then Edgar Chairez is a guy that can be there with those front chokes. Edgar Chairez is a durable guy, and he's a fucking dangerous guy. 11 wins, or 16 wins. 11-5 is not his record, right?
I think it is. Did I fuck that up?
No, it is 11-5. I was going to say
okay.
16. I was going to say it is 11 wins. I looked at it. I was like, wait, 16, 11. Yeah, 11 wins. All of them finishes. I have my money on Edgar Chairez. I think my pick is on Josh Van. He should be the better fighter, but I have the value play in what I believe is a pretty good bet in Edgar Chairez. It's inside the distance, decision, no action. I got a plus 160. It's starting to get a little bit lower now, but if Josh wins, I think it's a lot of touching. It's a lot of groping. It's a lot of wrestling, and he just kind of dogs it out. I don't see him finishing a guy like Edgar Chairez, and if he doesn't get finished, I get my money back. But I think the more dangerous guy is Edgar here, and I wouldn't be surprising me at all if he finds a way to pull this off.
I actually couldn't agree more. Edgar can find finishes. He almost finished Tatsuro Taira on short notice twice. So, all of a sudden, Edgar Chairez is always in a fight, could make something happen. I agree, he's very durable. That inside the distance decision, no action at plus money is a pretty solid bet there. $8,900 in DraftKings Fantasy for Josh Van. I'm not spending that money. I'd rather spend the $9,700 on Chiwiwi and then keep some budget left over. If I'm going to spend big dollars, it's got to be on somebody that is either going to finish or shoot a million takedowns, and that's not Josh Van. You do have a good point, though. I mean, This young kid coming off that finish, who the hell knows what he's going to do? Who the hell knows? Like, he might wrestle like crazy because he's afraid to get hit now. Who knows? We haven't seen it. If you do want to unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, the round line leans, the artificial intelligence, Dana White Contender Series picks and bets, everything else, an entire month's worth of events included at WeWantPicks.com. It's freaking $10 for an entire month. Click Become a Member at the top. BetSlam says, Angelo, are you okay? I hope you don't end up in the hospital. So he called into the college. Something's up. Something's up. I don't know what it is. It's been a month like this. Did you know he called into the call-in show, which I know you watched, but I'll recap it for you. He called into the call-in show. You know, BetSlam has like heart attacks constantly.
Seems like a guy that probably would.
I said, is it the alcohol? And then I was like, oh, fuck. And he goes, then he goes, I haven't drank in a few months. I was like, oh, fuck, he had a problem. And I just called him out for his problem.
Needs to stay away from the milk, probably.
Well, he was like, no, I didn't have a problem. So thank God. Anyway, he literally called into the call-in show from outside the hospital. I was like, why are you at the hospital? He goes, I have spontaneous cardiac arrest. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. What are we talking about? A pacemaker?
Or whatever?
Yeah, he's got a pacemaker, I guess.
Oh, well, then you're fucking good. You literally can't die.
Yeah, he should be fine.
Yeah, why the fuck you going to the hospital for? And then and then you're back. Go back to work.
Maybe they swapped the batteries out. The other person who called in was Gucci. I don't know if you saw my text message. Did you know Gucci was the Tiffany account? Did you see that?
What was the?
He was Mama Tiff.
Because you said you left a voicemail. I just immediately deleted. I didn't even see it. Was that just like singing and stuff? Was that just?
It was me saying, I'm sorry that I was gaslighting you in the argument. That's how I win arguments.
Baby, come back.
I did send that Indian dude on TikTok that goes, where are you? Like he does that whole, he goes from like deep Indian accent to that. I sent you that. I was like, that's me right now. Because he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I was like, all right. I sent a couple good ones, honestly. But Gucci called into the call-in show and legit was like, hey, I was Mama Tiff. I was like, dude, that was you? He's like, yeah, I stopped only because you said it was getting too real. I was like, it was getting too real because you were like thanking people for their support and shit. Like it was hilarious when it was a troll job. But then when you were like thanking people for supporting my journey, like, yeah, it was too real. So
I thought all of it was funny.
No, that stuff I was like, if I knew it was Gucci, like I trust him. But like, I don't know who this is. So I'm like, motherfucker's out here pretending to be my wife, thanking people for AIDS support.
All of a sudden you're going to roll over in bed. He's going to be laying there. Mama Tiff here.
That revelation was incredible. And he was just sitting on that. He should have never said it. He also was uncle. I think he was my dad or my uncle too. We had like 5 spam accounts. So next up at UFC 306, we have Yazmin Jauregui taking on Ketlen Souza. Yazmin Jauregui, 11-1 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She is coming off that decision win over Sam Hughes, taking on Ketlen Souza, 14-4 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off that beating over Marnik Man. Yazmin Jauregui is a very fun, very powerful striker with solid takedown defense. She's got great pressure, impressive combination. She'll enter that pocket with a high kick. She'll finish it with overhands and uppercuts. If she smells blood, she is relentless until she gets that finish. Her striking is very impressive. Her grappling is solid as well. Great body lock takedowns, good takedown defense, and she uses that takedown defense to end up on top. She's coming off that bounce back win over Sam Hughes where she defended 6 takedowns and looked absolutely great on her feet. She's taking on Ketlen Souza, pressure fighter, heavy strikes, the occasional takedown. Everything she does is heavy. She throws big kicks, big punches. She'll crush with elbows. She's always looking to damage. She's a very solid grappler as well. And when she's on the ground, she is relying on strength to keep you there. She is relying on strength to drag you there instead of technique. And she just beat the absolute piss out of Marnik Man. It should be Yazmin all day. Yazmin's the pick. I'm all over her. Got a little bit of action on her for the premium members. She's the more technical striker. She has more than enough takedown defense to keep it on the feet. My only concern is I was at UFC. I walked into the arena with my wife for my 40th birthday the second that Yazmin was knocked out. Literally the second she was knocked out, and she was as big of a favorite as she is now, if not bigger. And she was knocked out cold. But that was by Denise Gomes. And Denise Gomes has turned out to be pretty good. Yazmin Jauregui is still going to be the pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Listen, I know that Yazmin is probably the more technical striker. She's probably the better overall fighter. And if you stand in there and you try to just kind of out-technical and out-technique a girl like Yazmin, you're going to lose that fight. But thankfully, that's not the fight that Ketlen likes to fight. I mean, she is one of these Denise Gomes or this Amanda Lemos type of fighters where they'll just fucking sit there and they'll wait for that opportunity. And when that opportunity comes, they will fire that fucking right hand in there and they will hurt you. I have seen Yazmin get hurt by fighters like this before. You mentioned Denise Gomes. I think that Ketlen is more technical and just as powerful as a girl like Denise Gomes. And Denise Gomes did what a lot of people didn't think she was going to be able to do. I can't trust a fucking chin of Yazmin versus the shots that Ketlen can throw, and Yazmin's not really a crazy finisher, and I think Ketlen can be around, wait for those big shots. I think she fucking finds a shot, so it's not a lock of the week or anything like that, but I just think 1 + 1 is going to equal 2 in this situation.
You're straight up picking Ketlen?
Oh, yeah.
I am on the Yazmin side. I just think she's literally better everywhere. I agree with everything you're saying regarding the chin. I just think she's better everywhere, so I'm just going to... Sometimes
this girl throws that shit, man.
She does throw with...
She throws that fucking
meaningful
shit,
power.
dog.
With meaningful power, for sure. I'm still going to throw her, or have some money on her. I don't think I'm going to throw her in my lineup, though, because I don't know if she's going to finish Ketlen. To your point, $9,200 is a lot of money to spend for just a more technical striker. So I'm probably not going to throw in a DraftKings lineup at that price point, but I do think... I'm actually... quite confident in her winning. Obviously, anytime you pick a dog against me, it's a little nerve-wracking, but I am pretty confident in her getting it done. Jakey boy, you going to throw Ketlen in your lineup at $7,000?
Probably not. There's probably about other places to go.
There you go. Guys, if you do want to check out the picks, the bets, the round line leans, and everything else that we do, it's freaking $10 for a freaking month. You're going to get 4 events for that $10. That's 4 safety parlays, 4 events worth of bets, 4 events worth of picks, 4 events worth of artificial intelligence, 4 events worth of the optimizer. It's freaking $10. What the hell are we talking about? WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Jacob, it's not a super chat, but you do have a question here, and I'm sure you will love answering it. Who's the photo? Who are you with in the photo in the background? Is it Kai Kara France? And honestly, from this angle, it does kind of look like Kai Kara France, but we all know it isn't.
Who's the photo with in the background? There you go. Most beautiful girl in the world.
Damn, I forgot how big your beard was. Damn, that was bushy. Wait, you still got the, who was the Asian dude that had that? Oh, is it Josh Van? Is that who it was? When you started growing the mustache and just the chin, was it Josh Van that we pulled up his picture? We said you got the same facial hair? Who the hell was that?
Say it again.
Jesus Christ. I just saw that picture and I said, I forgot how big your beard was.
Okay.
Then I transitioned to your new facial hair situation, which you debuted on stream like a month or 2 ago. And as we broke it down, we went to a fight and bang, that dude, it was an Asian, had the exact same facial hair. Was it Joshua Van? Who was it?
I don't know. Why didn't you go back to Joshua Van's picture and look at it? It's not that hard to do, is it?
It was Josh Van. There we go.
There you go.
Full circle. We do have a super chat of Rootski. Gucci Gill. This is Mama Tiff. Jacob, your lock of the week was dope, bro. Also, thanks for the love on Mama Tiff. Did Angelo tell you missed you yesterday? And yes, I did tell him. And thank you for the 5 spot. How do I get this off? There we go. Next up, at UFC 306, we have Manuel Torres taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. Manuel Torres, 15-2 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5 with 14 finishes. Taking on Ignacio Bahamondes, 15-5 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout win.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
What the hell is that? What triggered that? What could have possibly triggered that? I said he's 4-1 in his last 5. And then how did that trigger that? We're just not answering the question? If somebody could let me know in the comments what the hell triggered that, that would be helpful. I know. Oh, I got my answer. That is that is what triggered it. All right. Well, you just got to roll with it. I don't know where I was. Ignacio Bahamondes is fighting Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is a good fight. This is a good fight. He's a well-rounded guy. He's dangerous. Good striking. Good grappling. Striking isn't technical, but he does throw knees in the clinch really, really well. He will throw to the head. He will rip your legs apart. He's long. He's skinny. He does a good job using that length, using that reach. He's got power guillotines, triangles, anything that requires leverage and length. Solid clinch work as well. He's coming off that submission win over Chris Duncan, where he did jump guillotine. That wasn't a submission, but he did do it, and that's what nerds do. He's taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. This dude is insanely tall.
So you're the one that fucking said that.
Said what?
This guy will pull guard. Or
He
jump
jumped
guillotine
guard.
or
I said it in my video.
well,
He did.
yeah, okay. Well, thank God you fucking cleared that up, because I had a guy in fucking Discord today tag me 6 different times. Jacob, can he answer me? Can he answer me? What video was it? You deleted your video. What video was it where you're talking about him pulling guard and Manuel Torres just pulls guard? What video? Jacob, can you please answer me? Finally, I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. I didn't say that. And why don't you go fucking just watch the breakdowns? I don't like, what are you talking about? Turns out it wasn't even me.
It was me. And I said he jumped guillotine, which he did do, not guard. Guillotine. And that's, anytime somebody jumps anything, it's nerdy as shit. Unless there's like 2 seconds left, 5 seconds left, you're trying to make something happen. Anyways, taking on Ignacio Bahamondes.
Cody Durden got a ninja choke. And they call it an anaconda choke. Anaconda choke, you have to have an arm in it. It was a ninja choke.
The reason they called it an anaconda is because where he was on the mat and then he was walking towards it. But I was watching on my phone like this, so I didn't get the...
I mean, it was a straight ninja choke. There was no arm involved. There was no nothing. I know the difference between an anaconda and a darce as well.
I literally was watching on my cell phone. I saw him on his side, like, you know...
It was like a power guillotine into a ninja choke.
Yeah. It was slick.
Anaconda, which doesn't make any sense.
Do you think he was losing before that? He was getting pieced up a little bit.
What?
Okay.
Dude, he was almost just knocking it. Dude, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure he saw my tweet.
It was like, I need this knockdown.
Dude, he was trying. I've never seen him throw right hands like that to get a knockout in my life. I think he literally saw that tweet because I tagged him in it, and he follows me.
Of our argument?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee he saw that tweet and was like, "Fuck yeah, I can knock this guy out." Because I've never seen him throw like that. And then finally he was like, "All right, let me just fucking choke him out."
I was watching on my phone, and then I immediately went to ESPN. I'm like, there wasn't a knockdown, was there? So
dude, he landed like 6 or 7 clean ass shots, and after like the 6-1, because I was live streaming, I was like, man, Angelo was fucking right. So. He can't knock anybody out. Jesus Christ, those are clean shots on Matt Schnell.
Haymakers.
I was like, fuck. He tried.
Well, we got Ignacio Bahamondes' tall ass. He's 6'3" at this weight class, which is insane. He's a striker, good volume, decent power. The power is really not from raw power, just from the fact that the punch came from 13 yards away. It's going to rack up some velocity on the way in. Good footwork, good head movement. He protects himself from power shots. Solid takedown defense at 85%. Takedown offense, absolute joke. 0%, and he has tried. He's 0 for 5 in takedown attempts. He's coming off that win over Christos Gallegos, where he actually was insanely aggressive, because the knock on him in the past has been he can be low volume, he can wait too long, but that wasn't the last fight. I think this is a phenomenal matchup. This could sneakily be one of the best fights on the entire card. I am going to pick Ignacio here as a dog. I think Manuel Torres has the success he has because of his length. He's used to having those long arms. He's used to having the reach. He's used to working with that. And none of that's going to work with Ignacio. He's way longer, way slicker. I think Ignacio Bahamondes gets this done. I think his reach, his length is a very real problem. And he's just got the far better resume. So I'm going Ignacio Bahamondes. What do you think, Jakey Boombalats?
Listen, I like, both these guys. I was always a big Bahama Mama guy. But when you watch him fight and you watch his fights, he is a tough son of a bitch. And he's going to need his toughness in this fight because Manuel Torres is going to be in his face doing some unorthodox shit with some wild shit with some real fucking power. The issue with Bahamondes is, what do we always say? When somebody is fucking tough, there's a reason why you know they are tough. They are getting fucking hit. And as good as this guy's jab is and his boxing is, his long striking, for whatever reason, he's a really hard time of getting out of the way of punches coming back. I mean, I don't see him. There's no real head movement. He keeps his head on the center line. He uses his length. And if you can get to that length, his head is going to fucking be there. So I get the pause for concern for Manuel Torres because you mix in a guy with a million first-round finishes with a guy that's fucking been around and he's shown how tough he can be. A lot of times you out-tough the crazy in the beginning and then you start taking over. And that's why I believe Manuel Torres isn't a minus 150, minus 200. But if you match up the skills and the hit ability and the finishing ability for Manuel Torres, I just got to take that side of the play. I'm not betting Manuel Torres. I might play something on him. But as far as a pick, I see a guy that gets hit a fucking lot. Isn't really like an undefeated guy, right? I mean, he's never been knocked out, but he has been finished. I got to go with the finisher in this. I just think Ignacio gets hit too much for a guy like Manuel Torres. And I think this crazy run that Manuel Torres is on is going to continue in the sphere, and it's going to be a fucking monster moment. So nothing against Bahamondes. It's just sometimes you just run into a more dangerous guy.
No, this is an incredible fight. I went back and forth on the pick, and ultimately I was like, Manuel loves being long, and he's just not going to be longer here, and that may work for us. But this is a razor-thin fight. The line reflects that. It tightened pretty quickly, and then it just sort of it bobs up and down a little bit. Ignacio's never been the favorite, but the wideness of the gap certainly has closed a little bit here and there. I think this is a pick your side in DraftKings because I do think there's a sneaky finish here. I think one of these guys can definitely win by finish. And all of a sudden, $8,000 or $8,200 was very well worth that money. You agree with that, or it's just too risky on either side? You're going to avoid it entirely.
Do you live in Ohio?
Why? Because somebody's eating that dog. I'll lock him up. You can hear it. Dude, he was locked up, and then Tiffany came home with the girls, and she let him
screaming the whole time.
Yeah, I hear you. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Well, first, you guys go to WeWantPicks.com. You click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 a month. You'll unlock everything you have ever wanted or needed. I'm going to lock this dog up while Jakey Boy reads this and thanks Ali for this incredible donation. We appreciate you.
$49.99 from Ali Sabah. I think it's how you say Sabah with a name like Ali. I think that's going to be Sabah. Hi, Jacob. That's a refund for the tennis bet I gave you last week. Oops. Appreciate you guys. Keep up the awesome work. To everyone in the chat, what are you doing with your life if you don't have premium? This guy did come into the Discord. He said, listen, I want to give back. You give out all these picks, right? Sometimes you even get an NFL pick. By the way, who was on the live stream? Look at it. He keeps this in front of my face. I feel like fucking the neighbor in Home Improvement right now. What the fuck was his name? I'm the neighbor in Home Improvement right now. You can't even fucking see me. But on the stream last Saturday, I even gave out a +3 bet for the Colts that fucking hit. And this guy came into the Discord and said, hey, I've got a play for you. It's a tennis play. I said I was fucking Wilson from Home Improvement. And you fucking left me with a fucking fence in front of my face.
Oh, my bad.
This guy came into the Discord and was like, you give me these picks, you made me all this money. Here's a fucking guaranteed lock underdog play for women's tennis. Lock it in. I said, how much should I put on it? He said, put 50 on it. So I put 50 on it. I said, no, I'm not going to watch it. Let me know how it goes. The next time he tagged me in Discord, he said, my bad, dude.
Whoops.
So you didn't have to do that. If I'll just
throw
random money or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But
yeah, 100%. Especially, nobody expects everybody to hit everything all the time. And Jacob's taking bets in the Discord. Things happen. Two other quick comments here. Liam says, explain the $8,200 in DraftKings. What that is. As a Brit, it baffles me. I don't know if DraftKings Fantasy is even available in your neck of the woods, but essentially you get a salary of $50,000. You have to draft 6 fighters with that $50,000. fighters are different price points depending on how good they are and how well they're expected to do. You then take that lineup, those 6 fighters, and you compete against other people.
Hey guys, just want to say
lineups.
I'm live right now on YouTube. Check me out. Links in the description below. Appreciate you guys. Join the party. Talk to you guys later.
Link in bio.
Hey guys, just want to say
Oh, he fucking really did that stupid shit. Magno says Ignacio's a dude who's way longer but got smoked by Ludovic, who's smaller. Ludovic out-wrestled him, guys. He out-wrestled him. So, had nothing to do with length. He wrestled his fucking ass. Next up, at UFC 306, we have the featured prelim. It's only a 10-fight card, and this is fight number 5. Are you owning both sides of this?
What?
Those noises are for both of these young ladies?
What are you talking about?
They're involuntary? That's crazy. We just heard. It's like an epileptic that has seizures out of nowhere. You do sex noises out of nowhere. It just happens.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. I watched the live view count go from 800 to 700, just like that.
That's what somebody's going to be like, I watched these with my kids, and that was inappropriate.
Which isn't insane. We do get those sometimes, and it is kind of, it's like, dude, it's 9:30 if you're on the East Coast right now. What are you, shouldn't that kid be asleep? Anyway, we got Irene Aldana taking on Norma Dumont. Irene Aldana, 15-7 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that striking win over Rosa. She's taking on Norma Dumont, 11-2 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5 on a 4-fight win streak. What in God's name is that? You look like the older brother in Home Alone right there. You see it? Buzz? Little buzz?
I could see it a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, here you go. See? Look how quick I am. This should be a very interesting fight, and this does matter for the division, for rankings, for movement up the ladder. We got Irene Aldana. She's a technical boxer. She's got some legit power. She sets a solid pace. She's able to keep the fight standing with that solid takedown defense. That looks like me. No, you know who that looks like? Cooge. That Italian dude with no chin that's always making like, take care, brush your hair. That's who that looks like. 76% takedown defense. Her only losses in her last 4 years are to former champions Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, neither one of whom wanted to strike with Irene. They both just wrestled the absolute piss out of her. She's big, she's strong, she's dangerous, and she is durable, and she is coming off that fight of the night win over Rosa, where she landed 145 significant strikes in 3 rounds. She's taking on Norma Dumont, solid striker. She's relaxed. She's patient. Her striking is technical. Takedown defense is sound. Takedown offense is decent as well. If you look at the strike differential, she lands more than 3 significant strikes per minute and absorbs fewer than 2. On top of her technical striking, Norma also has solid grappling. Takedowns aren't spectacular, but she has 17 of them in her UFC career. She's coming off that one-sided win over Jermaine Durandamy, where she was all in on the wrestling. And I'm going to pick Norma Dumont here. I made that pick when she was a full dog. This line has yo-yoed. You see she opened at minus 15, and she's minus 110 now. On Saturday or Sunday, whatever the hell it was, she was plus money underdog. So we have seen some movement on the Norma side here. I want to be all over her. I want to throw a bunch of money down on her. I want to bet on her. My only concern is she just fought somebody in Jermaine that she should have 30-27. She should have run right through her, but it was a little closer than it should have been. And there were, in the striking exchanges, some moments where it's like, dude, Norma's a little slow. And Irene could do that exact same thing to her. I'm still picking Norma. She is big, she's strong, she's durable, she can close the distance, get this to the ground. But I'm too much of a coward. I'm the lion. I did not pull the trigger and bet the money. What do you think, Jakey boy?
I did pull the trigger and bet the money. I did get her also as a slight dog. And I'll be honest with you, if she was a dog plus 130, plus 130, I would probably make him a lock of the week. I like Aldana, right? I like her boxing. Really nice jab. And once she gets that jab going, she's really going to hurt a girl. But I believe Norma Dumont is a bully. And as long as you don't stay in that boxing range and box with Aldana, you got to be all the way in, all the way out, working in those takedowns, right? A lot of these takedowns versus Jermaine were caught kicks, not really clean takedowns, and Irene's going to have good takedown defense, but she can get taken down. I believe there's just more past the victory for a girl like Norma Dumont who can bully you in the stand-up or bully you on the ground. Just stay away from the jab. Stay out of that boxing range, and you should be able to win this fight.
Listen, let me ask you something. How the fuck did you do an Australian accent breaking down a Mexican and a Brazilian? How did we get there? Nobody's nickname is Crocodile either. So how the hell did we get there?
Girls love Australian accents. Both these girls are very beautiful, and I think if they were watching this breakdown, they'd hear my accent, and they'd really fall in love with me. Irene Aldana, I love your cats, beautiful cats. Norma Dumont, you have a nice ass.
All right, fair enough. You know what's funny? We both picked Norma, but some dude in the chat attacked you. Jacob's a dumbass. Norma's going to lose. I also picked her, but for some reason, you got called a dumbass. Well, that's the internet. It's just how that goes. You did pull the trigger on the bet. What did you get those odds at?
Like plus 1,000.
Oh, nice. So guess who's not a dumbass? Anonymous internet user. $7,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. I'm going to look at that a little closer because she is a dog. I think she wins. Sub 8,000 sounds great. I just have to see what she scores and how well she scores in some of those decision wins because she is kind of low volume and she's just winning these fights with pressure and control. And unless she's got a bunch of takedowns, it may not score that well. So I'll take a look. You going to go as far as spending that $7,800 in DraftKings Fantasy?
Someone said, if you pick Chairez, why not pick Aldana? Hometown dog, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Nobody fucking picked Chairez. You slump of shit.
Slump. You slump. WeWantPicks.com if you want to see who he did pick and wasn't Edgar Chairez. And if you want to see the bets, the round line leans, and everything else, we have been up units. It's an unbelievable streak. Unbelievable streak. The long-term success is also wild. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's $10 for a freaking month. You're going to be chilling with your boys watching the event. Don't you want to winning bets?
I just fucking spit everywhere. I'm going to say it just because it's funny. So he said, where the fuck did that go?
Is it the Liam dude?
He said, you didn't finish explaining the DraftKings. What happens after you spend the $50K? You were interrupted by the ginger retard.
First of all, I did explain it, you dumb asshole. I said you take that lineup and you compete with other people for money. They have a lineup. You have a lineup. You compete with each other. Whose lineup is better? The ginger.
Billy.
Damn. People will get, hey, are you coming over Saturday for
Bailey? Fuck
for
no.
UFC? Why not?
I want to enjoy this. I'm not going to stream. I'm going to be at home. I want to enjoy this event. I don't have to stream and talk through all the videos that they're going to be showing and stuff because Dana said there's going to be like videos between each fight.
And
at your house it'll be fucking chaos, and I want to enjoy it. So no.
Oh, it's just going to be me, you, Bo, Casey,
and the kids.
Okay. Yeah, the kids
screaming. When I'm there, last time I was there, I had a girl pulling my hair for 30, 40 minutes straight. I had my Charles Johnson skullet on that we just got, and a little girl just trying to rip it off my head for 45 minutes straight.
First of all,
get the kids in their own fucking room.
Those little girls love you.
Yeah, and I do get riled up a little bit.
Well, and they light up. Jake, like they do light up, and they get all excited to try to impress you.
I get them a little riled up, and
yeah, you like do that trend on TikTok right now. It's like, hey, tell your dog I said.
Oh yeah.
You do that with the kids, so. But well, I'm having my buddy's making a brisket. It's the best brisket I've ever had in my life. Don't you like brisket?
Only my mom's.
She does it in an oven. I've had it. It's good.
She doesn't do it in an oven. She has a fucking smoker.
She has an electric smoker and did it without like smoke. So it was wrapped in tinfoil the whole time. So it's an oven.
It's a smoker. The smoke still gets in.
Not through foil.
Okay. That must have been why the spaceships were made out of aluminum foil.
Correct. That is correct. Oh, my God. Tiff just texted me that I initialed the day that my daughter was absent in her book. God, I am.
You what?
Every day, my youngest comes home from school with a binder, and there's a calendar.
I think I'm going to adopt a kid.
Go for it. I mean, the world needs good people to adopt kids. 100%. You found one you like?
It's a more of a forced adoption, but
okay. I guess I'll get the details off air. Okay. Let's move on. And we are going to move on to a little bit of a promo here. We'll send you $50. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, use any of our links.
They won't let your autistic ass adopt a fucking hamster.
Nobody. Oh, they did say that. Dude, Liam's going in on you. Holy shit. That's like the fifth thing that he said to you like that. You've had a few hamsters. Dude, last time I went to your place, there were hamster cages and there was like empty toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls everywhere, but I didn't see any actual hamsters.
Yeah, you helped me move in and you haven't been back.
Which is quite rude. And I did.
I even gave you you were even like, dude, give me an extra pool key. I gave you a pool key and then.
Did you give me a pool key?
Oh, yeah. I gave you a fucking, like, a key to actually access the fucking pool and everything.
Oh, well, then we got a pool.
Well, so. I was trying to be that nice guy.
I know you are. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
we love
the daughters over to swim.
Doesn't the older one have a two-piece? Okay. All right. We'll send you $50 if you use the damn link. This is another review of our success in 2024. Pay-per-views specifically, 78% profitability on pay-per-views.
Why are they called hamsters when they don't taste like ham? That's a valid question.
How do you know they don't taste like ham? How does he know? You guys are just making assumptions. How do you know?
That's a good point. I don't really like ham. That's one of my least favorite.
That is true. That always blows my mind when you say that. But I made that Mexican.
You know why? Because every fucking Thanksgiving and Christmas, I guess Thanksgiving had turkey, but they always had a honey ham as well. But every fucking Christmas, there's a fucking honey ham and honey ham and honey ham. It's like, fuck, man. I could eat the fucking piss out of fucking turkey, though. Turkey and gravy. Oh, my God, dude.
So
and then you
dry.
dip the roll into the fucking... That's why you have fucking gravy, asswipe.
There's like Doug Heffernan's sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Here's the address if you want to send something for the vlog. We'll open it. We'll react to it. We'll respond to it. We'll eat it. If it's sealed from the factory, I'm not eating your mother's bullshit in saran wrap. We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. And here's all the events you'll get if you become a premium member today. Opening up the UFC 306 main card, we have Ronaldo Rodriguez taking on Ode Osbourne. This fight's getting a lot of shit. Everybody that wants to be a funny man, everybody that wants to throw out a video to get 20,000 views with no effort whatsoever is doing so by saying the UFC sphere is failing and it's a Dana White crying picture on the thumbnail. And they say Ode Osbourne on a main card in 2024 is a joke. I disagree with all that bullshit. First of all, Ode's on this main card because A, he's actually exciting, and B, they're trying to showcase Ronaldo here, guys. Come on, keep up.
Do you know the first card that, or do you know Ode's first UFC fight was?
No.
It was a short notice, and he ended up on the Conor McGregor Cowboy Cerrone main card as well. So he talked about it. He talked about that in media day. I can't remember who he fought. He lost, but he was like, I came in and I was on this monster card, and I kind of lost my moment, and it's like now he knows when you're at the table, you better fucking eat. So he's like, now I got this moment again to be on the main card, on a big card, and here I go.
Well, and he's good, and he could absolutely play spoiler here. He's taking on Ronaldo Rodriguez. Ronaldo Rodriguez is 16-2 in his career. He's on a nice little bit of a win streak here at 6. Ode Osbourne on the other side, 12-7. Had some ups, had some downs. He is 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off 2 submission losses in a row. It is a key note how he's losing those fights. Ronaldo's a patient striker. He's got some real power. He likes to plot forward, find his spots before laying it on, hunting for that finish. He has no problem eating leg kicks so that he can counter with some big hooks. When he's dialed in, he is laser focused on the feet. He's got a solid chin, but he can be hit because he keeps his hands here at shoulder length, like pop, pop, pop. instead of here, nice and tight. Decent takedowns, good BJJ as well. But it only gets there when people take it there because he's not really initiating. Ode, on the other side of that octagon, is a southpaw striker. He uses range really well to keep people at the end of his punches. He's got a ton of power, great finishing ability, especially at this weight class. He has 5 wins in the UFC with a takedown in 3 of them, and he's coming off back-to-back losses where he was taken down. I mentioned people hate that Ode's on this main card. I disagree with that sentiment. Ode's a fun guy. He brings the fight. But this is a UFC Mexico card. This is designed to showcase Ronaldo because they know that Ode will fight. And they know that you can take him down. You can exploit some things there if you need to. He is on that 2-fight skid. But again, that was against nasty wrestlers and grapplers. That is not who Ronaldo is. I am still going to pick Ronaldo because I do think this is supposed to be a showcase fight. I think he can. And if he does get into trouble on his feet, he can shoot some takedowns. But no bets here. And if you're falling into this Ode sucks trap, which I completely disagree with, I think he's a very good fighter, go watch Ronaldo's Contender Series fight and let me know if that's somebody you're going to bet on. Jakey boy, what do you think?
I like Ronaldo here, and I did bet him. And one of the reasons why I did is he has such a methodical temperament to the way that he fights. He just kind of does his thing, right? And nothing really rattles him. You saw in his last fight, he was getting taken down left and right by a very good, whatever the fuck his name is, the wild dude, Dennis Bondar, or Bondar, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. He was getting taken down left and right, but he just very casually sweeps, threatens a submission, gets back to his feet, and then just kind of stays in your face and stays in your face. And I think that Ode is probably going to look good in this first round. He's going to be throwing in some big shots. Ronaldo is one of those guys that you land a big shot, and he literally just makes a face at you. And eventually, when you keep landing these shots, you keep throwing heavy, you're trying to mix in a takedown, you're trying to do all this powerful stuff that you think is doing well, you just kind of get worn down. I think Ronaldo is just one of those guys that people think that they're having success against him, and then it's like all of a sudden he's still around, and then he's right in your face, he's pressuring you now you're on the ground, now he's on your back. And I just love the kind of just methodical way that Ronaldo just kind of goes through these fights. He doesn't get too up, he doesn't get too down. He gets taken down, he gets back up, and then next thing you know, he's just kind of all over you, and you can't get him off. So I like Ronaldo here. I bet him. Not a crazy bet, but I just kind of like the value against a guy like Ode, who I think could blow his load a little bit early, and then Ronaldo takes over late.
I had a Jacob ADD moment there when he said he gets knocked down, he gets up again, and then just...
I get knocked down. I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down. You're never going to keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. Pissing the night away.
Okay. We good? You got that out. Holy shit. Ready for your nap. You just had the zoomies. Those are the Jacob zoomies right there. He just worked his zoomies out, and now he's good.
He drinks a whiskey drink. He drinks a vodka drink. Okay. He sings songs that remind him of the good times.
You spending $8,600 on your get knocked down guy?
I think there's a finishing upside here.
I think either one of them could finish, honestly. I think fight does not go the distance.
I think Ode's not going to finish fucking Ronaldo.
There we go. Jakey boy on the Ronaldo side. I am on the Ronaldo side as well.
Oh, that was one of my bets. Yeah, I have a nice little... I have actually a two-part. I have 2 bets on Ronaldo. One of them a little bit safer than the other, but yeah, I have 2 bets on Ronaldo. I forgot about that.
Well, if you want to check out his bets, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It is only $10 for an entire month. Jacob, what is your... I saw you tweeted it. You're like up 16 units in 11 weeks or some shit. What is it?
I mean...
Okay. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. It's $10 a freaking month. You're going to get 4 events for that month. Don't be a cheap bastardo. Next up at UFC 306, we have Daniel Zellhuber taking on Esteban Ribovics. Daniel Zellhuber, 15-1 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding a 3-fight win streak. He's taking on Esteban Ribovics, 13-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that head kick knockout over Terrence McKinney. This is a fight that has a lot of people very, very confident. I am seeing a ton of like Daniel Zellhuber is going to win, DZ for the win, DC definitely wins this, and I get it. He's very good. He's an impressive striker. He's very aggressive. He's nice and dynamic. He has incredibly long limbs that gives him power, range, leverage for grappling. Despite his long legs, which can be a negative defending takedowns, for him, he's got some pretty solid takedown defense as well. If he is taken down, he's wrapping people up using those limbs. He's coming off that exciting win over Francisco Prado. He's taking on Esteban Ribovics. This guy is very good. Very, very good. Impressive striker, sneaky power. His strikes are tight. They're short. They're accurate. He's got a nice tight guard. He works forward. He picks his shots. Despite his impressive knockout highlights, he is not just a striker. He's got nice takedowns and solid BJJ as well. He'll shoot clean doubles or he'll work upper body takedowns. When he gets you to the ground, he immediately looks to snatch something up. He's coming off that first round KO win over Terrence McKinney. This is a close fight. We have said this a million times. Both Jacob and I do our predictions and our breakdowns and all that before we look at the odds. I assumed this was dead even. This should be dead even. The fact that Daniel Zellhuber is more than a 2-1 favorite is crazy to me. And you can't even blame it on recency bias because Ribovics just beat the shit out of somebody. So it's not even like Ribovics. Like, I don't know why the odds are as insanely wide as they are. We have seen Ribovics out-technique people. We've seen him out-strike people. We've seen him out-power people. We've seen him out-scramble, out-grapple, get takedowns. Esteban Ribovics is the pick. I think he wins this fight. I'm shocked to see that the line is this wide. I have a bet on Esteban Ribovics. And then I said I was going to go back and place a plus 3.5, which I haven't done yet. So I'm going to check now to see what those odds are. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, let me start by saying that I respect the talents of Daniel Zellhuber. This kid's fucking good. I mean, you're not 15-1. You've been in the UFC 3, 4, 5 fights now, and not be a good young prospect. I mean, he's a long dude, young kid, tough. He is a fucking really, really clean, technical striker. And he is one of those guys, just like with Bahama Mama. Like, if you just stand in front of these guys and you try to out-technical them, you're probably going to get pieced apart, right? Because they're long, they got really nice jabs, and you saw that happen to Prado. Prado tried to just kind of out-technical this guy, and he was landing some stuff early, but once this guy Zellhuber gets in his fucking flow state and he starts landing that really stiff jab, all of a sudden you lose your fucking eye and the fight is over. That's basically what happened to Prado. The good news is, for as good and technical and everything that Zellhuber is, he can kind of get backed up. He doesn't really like the pressure as much as you would like. He's not in that same flow state. And Esteban Ribovics is a guy that isn't he's technical, but he also do the off-speed stuff, the off-balance stuff, the off-angle stuff. He's not necessarily just standing right in front of you like a Prado and trying to outstrike you. He will do kind of the weird stuff, the weird kicks, the head kicks, the spinning stuff, the pressure. And he's a tough son of a bitch. And what I love the most from him is you can tell he's a high IQ guy. When he gets somebody hurt and they're against the fence and they're shelling up, he's like, okay, protect your fucking head. I'm going to start ripping your fucking body. And he is a high IQ guy when he gets you hurt. He is a high IQ guy in there understanding how to, or the importance of winning rounds. You saw that versus Quamela Kirk. He knew he lost that first round and he could not give up another round. So every time he was taken down, boom, I know I have to get back to my feet. I'm not going to waste another fucking round. He pulled that fight out. I like his power here. I like his pressure here. This is my lock of the week, but this isn't, like I mentioned, my lock of the week video. It's not a typical, I'm going all in. Last week I had fucking $1,300 on Taco Padilla. I knew what was going to happen in that fight. This is just what you said. I think the odds should be a fucking split, fucking even. Both sides, minus 110. This is going to be a really, really good fight. I can't wait for this fight. I just think Esteban's going to have the toughness, the pressure, and the bigger moments. Could find a finish. I hope he finds a finish. I think that this could have like a split decision written all over it. I just think Ribovics going to have the bigger moments, and that's why he's my lock of the week.
Yeah, we're both on the same side. Hopefully we do that 2 weeks in a row. I picked Padilla, you picked Padilla. Great. You made Padilla the lock. Even better. I picked Ribovics, you picked Ribovics. You made him the lock. Awesome. Anytime we are both on the lock of the week, not anytime, the majority of the time, it hits. We've got completely different reads on fights. We're different people. Our brains work differently. So when that happens, I'm not a big dog guy. So when we're both on the same guy, seems to work. So I'm hoping the same happens here because we both got money on Esteban here. I do want him to wrestle a little more than he traditionally does, and we've seen some takedowns out of him. Well, I would like if he did. I
promise he's not going to wrestle.
I'll bet you he gets one takedown.
That doesn't mean that's not a wrestling game plan. He's not going to wrestle. He might find a weird fucking takedown in a certain scramble or against a fence or whatever, but he's not going to be actively shooting takedowns.
We'll see what happens. People keep citing the Francisco Prado. Dude, Francisco Prado just wants to stand there and bang. He's very good, but there's no threat of anything else. We're both on the Ribovics side. He will be in my DraftKings lineup at $7,200. This is how I can afford the 97 on Shiwiwi. I imagine you're going to do the same.
Yeah.
There we go. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It's freaking $10. $10 for everything you could ever want or need heading into a fight week, and you're going to get that for 4 fight weeks.
Is Zellhuber was it Bahama Mama? I always get those mixed up. One of them's with Bilal. I think it's Zellhuber.
I don't know. No, it's Bilal. It's Zellhuber's at Extreme Couture.
So Bahama Mama is with
It's got to be. If one of them is, yeah, it's got to be. Next up, at UFC 306, we have the featured fight of the evening. We have the rebooked Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. This was supposed to happen at UFC 303. Jakey Boy and I were there in person, yucking it up in the VIP, hanging out with the people, doing the things. And then we all found out together on the TV. And I put my arm around Brandon Moreno. You knew. You told us, and then the TV show.
I found on Twitter. I was letting everyone know, and they were like, no. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah. And then I put my arm around Brandon Moreno, and I told him, I said, did you know that Diego Lopes is now fighting Dan Ige? Because Brian Ortega's fat ass.
You put your arm around him, and then you were like touching him, and then touching him, and then touching him, and then touching him. And
I wasn't as touchy as people were indicating. You
were way more touchy.
Nah, it wasn't that touchy. I'm not that touchy. I'm also...
You're very touchy.
I'm not that touchy. It was more like, dude, can you believe it? Like tapping, like, dude.
No, every time you ask anybody a question, you have to touch them.
Tap. I tap. No,
not touch. It's
this
an open hand
touch.
like this.
This is tap.
No, you touch people like this. Go.
Yeah, but it's
everyone
like,
go
dude,
watch it.
I go, dude, like that. It's a push.
Okay. Well, you just said that you didn't do that, and now you're saying that you do it.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. But it's a tap. That's a tap.
Anybody can go watch the video.
If this is your shoulder, it's like, dude. It's not, dude.
Well, that's the way it is on the couch when I'm over. That's why I'm uncomfortable.
No, we're not doing that. Anyway, fight was canceled. Brian Ortega had all sorts of issues. The weight class was changed a few times. Ultimately, fight was canceled. Dan Ige steps up on short notice, and he fights Diego Lopes. We got Brian Ortega at 16-3. He is 2-3 in his last 5, but he is coming off that very exciting come-from-behind win over Yair Rodriguez. He's taking on Diego Lopes.
We were both crazy high on Ortega in that fight.
I certainly remember I was high on Ortega in that fight. I remember being in my living room when he won. I remember being very excited about it. I don't remember what the other side of that was like.
You don't remember a phone call after the first round?
I do remember the phone call. You called me.
That was the biggest karma. That was the biggest instant karma I've ever seen in my life. Me calling you while I'm streaming after the first round. Ha ha ha! How's your boy Ortega? Dude's getting fucking smoked. Ha 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 ha. I actually called you as the round was ending, and that was when, like, the last 10 seconds, it was like, Yair, are you okay? So as we were on the phone, I was like, ha ha ha, gotta go.
And then the tides turned because Brian Ortega is a G. The dude is tough as hell. He has no quit in him whatsoever. He will take his beating and remain dangerous. We saw it in that fight. He got the shit kicked out of him, and he still came back and won that fight. We saw it in the Volkanovski fight. He didn't win it, but it was late. Was it the 3rd or the 4th? After getting pretty dominated where he almost pulled off that guillotine.
And then a triangle right after.
Yeah. So Brian Ortega has no quit in him.
I think people forget that triangle was probably closer than the.
I forget about the triangle too. Yeah,
the triangle was like just as, and that's what he's known. I mean, T City stands for Triangle City. That's like his go-to.
So he's a durable guy and he's tough for days. So I understand the people on Ortega. And those same people are talking about, well, Diego Lopes looked like shit in his last fight. He looked terrible in his last fight. You can't go by how Diego looked in his last fight. You can go by how Brian looked in his last fight. And he looked like shit too. He got the absolute piss beaten out of him, but he is so tough. He's so durable. He's not a quitter that he made it happen. Diego Lopes only looked like shit because he got tired and gave up that third round. And he got tired because he got a phone call in the middle of the night that Brian Ortega is not going to make weight. He got a phone call that he's got a new opponent. There was all sorts of issues that will suck the energy right out of you. He didn't sleep. There was a lot of wild stuff going on, and that was all in a co-main event on what was supposed to be a pretty big pay-per-view and ended up being a pretty big pay-per-view. So yeah, he gave up the third round against an opponent, a very good, durable, ranked opponent who stepped up on a few hours' notice. Thank you, Dan. That whole rant was basically to say you can't look at Diego Lopes' last fight and take something away from him. I picked Diego Lopes to beat Brian Ortega the first time. I bet on him the first time at minus 150. I bet on him again. He is not minus 150 anymore. I had to pay a little bit more, but I think it's pretty straightforward. I don't even think this is a close fight. I think Diego Lopes is faster, stronger. The jiu-jitsu's the same. I think Diego Lopes runs through Brian Ortega. As horrible as that sounds, Brian Ortega is very, very tough. But he can get pieced up, and I think Diego Lopes pieces him up. And I'm not even a Diego Lopes guy. That's Jacob. Jacob's a Diego Lopes guy. So I'm on the Lopes side here. I am pretty confident in that, and I spent my money on it for the second time in a row. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I actually, when this fight was originally announced and we broke this fight down, I said the same thing I'm going to say now. I don't think anybody hates either one of these guys. I mean,
no.
Everyone loves Diego Lopes coming up, but I think everyone is a fan of Brian Ortega. He's a hard guy to hate, and I'm a big Diego Lopes guy myself, and even myself, it's hard to hate Brian Ortega in this matchup. But being a Diego Lopes fan and going into that first matchup, I can't remember how much I ended up put on Diego, but I think $1,000 or something, maybe $1,500. I can't remember when I was in Vegas how much I put on him. Little bit of a different situation because that was a Brian Ortega who was coming in a little bit short notice. He seemed a little bit annoyed that he was going back to 145 because he had already kind of committed mentally to being a 155 fighter to get more exciting matchups for himself, and it was kind of, he almost seemed a little bit reluctant to take this match, but okay, we'll just do one last fight at 145. We'll see how we do type of thing. A little bit short notice. And in that style of lead up to that fight where Diego was really coming off some crazy momentum, all that stuff, I was like, all right, Diego's going to be able to handle this. Brian just didn't seem like he was all in mentally. And I know that might sound stupid, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but then he came in, all of a sudden he's missing weight and stuff. So it seemed like I was pretty right on line as far as like he wasn't really prepared for that fight. And Diego probably was going to roll over him in that fight. This is a little bit different. This is Brian now has a full camp, and he said that he's still going to go back to 155, but now he seems definitely more locked into this matchup. This isn't just a willy-nilly short notice 303. This is fucking Noche UFC. He is very proud of his Mexican heritage as well. I think you're going to see the best Brian Ortega that we've seen in a long time. And if you're looking at a guy like Diego, I fucking love Diego. Diego is a crazy, dangerous guy. If he comes in and smokes Brian Ortega, it's going to be like, yeah, Diego is the fucking real deal. I'm not going to be surprised. But as far as putting my money on Diego at this point, I'm not doing it. I think by the time the fight comes, while I'm watching it, I probably will put a little bit. But as far as premium, as far as where I want to put my money on, I think Diego, he's going to be my pick. But Brian Ortega is a very fucking durable guy. He's been around. He throws some really nice counters. And Diego, when he does that blitz-in shit, he leaves himself really fucking exposed to strikes. And if Brian Ortega just says, fuck it, I know I can trust my jiu-jitsu, and he starts wrestling early, he can wear down a guy like Diego, who we've seen is comfortable living off his back for 3 rounds as well. So I'm picking Diego because he should win. He's the more dangerous guy. But as this fight approaches, it just feels It feels like a 50-50 fight. This is another one where it feels like it's got split decision written all over it. Both these guys are very tough, durable, wild scrambles, wild fight. I hope we get all the action that we should get from this fight. I'm going Diego as a pick, but I think I respect Ortega too much. And I feel like I love where he's at mentally as a fighter. Listening to him now, he seems happy with where he's at in life and stuff. And maybe I'm reading into it too much, but I'm going Diego, but I'm not putting money on him.
Yeah, listen, I get everything you're saying. I think it is much more straightforward. I totally get Brian's durability. I picked
Diego's such a sloppy striker, dude. He is fucking sloppy.
I don't think the strike. I agree with you, but Brian Ortega gets lit up on the feet too. So I don't think.
Yeah,
the
but he's
striking,
fighting people that are. I mean, he's fought some fucking like the highest level strikers. And
I did just pull up his record here. So Yair Rodriguez just beat the piss out of him and then lost.
Yair would outstrike Diego.
Yeah, that wasn't to be disparaging. I agree. The Yair fight before that doesn't matter. Doesn't count. The Alexander Volkanovski fight, okay, long-running champ. Korean Zombie, all right, decent. Max Holloway, next level. The rest of these wins aren't amazing. Frankie Edgar when he was old, Cub Swanson when he was old, Renato Moicano, who didn't get good till 2 weeks ago, Clay Guida, like, these are good wins, especially at the time, but when Brian Ortega cracked the top 5 is when things started to not go well, including his last fight where he got the shit kicked out of him. We're going to learn a lot about Diego Lopes here. I agree with everything you're saying. Brian is insanely tough. And I was a Diego hater because I watched Movsar Evloev just hold him down. Just hold him down. And I was like, anybody can just hold him there. He doesn't do enough off his back. So that, like you said,
fucking smokes. I can't not believe that Evlev's not a fucking minus 300 or more against Aljo. The fuck is Aljo going to do?
He's the better wrestler. It is kind of crazy.
What the fuck is Aljo going to do to him?
Yeah, no, he's literally the better wrestler.
Aljo doesn't have he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu of Diego, and he handled Diego's jiu-jitsu fine. Even that fucking, I don't know, it's off topic.
Unless he's being told not to wrestle. But yeah, we'll break that down when that comes.
Well, that's even better. I mean, he doesn't even need to wrestle. He's a way better striker. I mean,
yeah, that's true. And he'll defend
really
his
good
sloppy-ass
striker.
takedowns.
Yeah, I mean, he'll fucking light up Aljo. His kicks are crazy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's many months from now. Or 2 months. When is that?
It's next month, I think.
It's 307 or 308? Oh, well, then it's in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not next week, not the week after, but the week after that.
And if you become
a premium member, it's only $10 a month. You will get UFC 307 in the mix. We're both on the Diego Lopes side. I'm just far more confident than Jacob, which is a bit of a role reversal here because he's the Diego guy.
I kind of said the same thing versus Sadiq too. I just do not like the defensive striking
smoked that guy.
Of Diego. But I know. But going into that fight, I'm not going to try to rewrite history. Going into that fight, I said, Sadiq's got real power, and the way that Diego blitzes in and strikes, he leaves some fucking openings. And Sadiq wasn't able to find him, and I just think eventually somebody will. And Brian Ortega can strike with Diego.
Oh, I don't disagree. I just think, dude, and his Instagram pictures, like, the dude's fucking in insane shape. Insane shape. So we'll see. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Unlock the picks, the bets, the round line leans. Everything you could want or need heading into a fight week. And that $10 will get you 4 fight weeks, including UFC 307. We have a $7 Canadian super chat. Jakey Boy, a.k.a. Salamander, a.k.a. Firecrotch. Mount through.
It's not a Firecrotch.
Prove it.
I'll send you a picture.
No, thank you. With Lock of the Week, Brazilian baddies get the oil ready. Thank you for the super chat. Next up, at UFC 306, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have the trilogy fight between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. This is a rare trilogy fight in the women's division. The first time out, let me recap the fights. The first time out, Alexa was losing wrestling. What are you looking for?
No, I clicked on an Instagram comment on my video and started playing my video.
Oh, playing your video. I thought you were trying to find a clip to show. The first time out, Alexa Grasso was getting taken down. She was losing the wrestling exchanges. Then she submitted Valentina, shocked the world, won that fight. Next go around, and she was losing the majority of that fight. Next go around, they fight to a draw. There's a lot more back and forth. It was a controversial draw where one judge had Grasso winning, one judge had Valentina winning, and the third judge had a very sketchy 10-8 round in the fifth for Grasso, which forced that draw. The entire debate comes down to that judge and that round. People feel Valentina won the fight and that the third judge just did that for Grasso to force a draw on his card so he didn't have to pick a winner. It was very Madoff-esque. I agree with that assessment. I think Valentina won that fight.
Grasso
that 10-8.
won.
That 10-8 in the third. Do you agree that 10-8 in the third is absurd, though?
I don't think it's crazy. She was fucking just curled up in a ball the last 30 seconds or whatever it was, just fucking eating everything.
Well, I think the 10-8 was a bit extreme. I thought Valentina won the fight or at least did enough to make it insanely close. She had the takedowns. She made some stuff happen. It was more of the same. But I'm about to pick Alexa Grasso because Alexa Grasso closed the gap. Alexa Grasso's improving at a faster rate. Valentina Shevchenko's not improving. She is already the best version of herself at her age, with the success that she's had at the level. She is the best version of herself and has been for a couple of years. And we're watching Alexa get better. The first time out, Alexa wasn't defending the takedown. She was getting taken down. She was getting controlled. Second time out, Alexa had her own takedown, defended more takedowns, and had a knockdown. Alexa is the current champion. She's got all the confidence in the world. The line is shocking. I'm surprised the line has Alexa as like an actual favorite, because I would think they would look at the first two fights and be like, well, Valentina has the wrestling edge and she's been using it to her advantage. But Valentina is a few years older. Alexa's getting better and better. Her gym is doing very, very well. Alexa Grasso is the pick here. I think she wins this fight. And I have a half a unit on her. I got her at minus 115. So I got some decent odds on her there. What do you think, Jakey Boombalats?
Here's what I'll say. Now, obviously, we've broken down this fight twice already, and I'm going to pretty much say the same thing with a little bit of a caveat as well. I fully believe still that the game plan from Alexa Grasso, I said it before the first fight, and it turned into kind of what it should have been, but I believe that Alexa Grasso should force the fucking wrestling on Valentina. You saw Valentina start slowing down in fights when there's a lot of grappling involved. I think Alexa Grasso should trust her own wrestling. She can take Valentina down as well. Withstand the judo, because Valentina doesn't really want to defend the takedown. She wants to turn that momentum with her judo into her own takedowns. Withstand the judo, trust your jiu-jitsu, get this girl down early, win an early round, and then you can do more with the feet on the stand-up later as she starts slowing down. The other thing I'll say about Alexa Grasso is I think she's the better fighter. I think she's the better striker. I think she can match the pure wrestling. I think she's a better grappler. This is going to sound crazy because you're talking about Valentina Shevchenko, one of the most dominant champions in this division, has a lot of finishes, has beat the fuck out of girls before. I think that Alexa Grasso respects Valentina too much. It feels like every time there's a big moment in these fights, Alexa Grasso is winning these big moments. Every time they're going to the ground in a scramble, it feels like Alexa's coming out on top. The big exchanges, she is knocking Valentina down. I think that she needs to come in, really believe. I don't think that she doesn't believe that she's the better fighter, but fight like you are the better fighter. Get in this girl's face. Shoot your own offensive wrestling. Get in this girl's face and throw those boxing exchanges, because you're going to be the cleaner boxer and has shown that you have the power advantage. You've knocked her down in this fight. I think Valentina is slowing down. I think Alexa Grasso is the overall better fighter. And if she comes in and believes in herself and just stops, because it's in between those big moments when they're just kind of out at space and Valentina is able to do that Muay Thai counter striking and counter, and it looks like she's landing these big shots. That's how she's winning these rounds. If you get in her face and you take that away and say, listen, I'm the fucking better fighter. We're going to fucking fight and I'm going to win these exchanges. I'm going to take you to the ground and I'm going to get in your face. I think Alexa Grasso has an opportunity to really kind of bully a girl that I think is going to be slowing down. I think she's better than, and I think Alexa Grasso is going to win this fight kind of however she wants. I just think she's a better fighter, and I've got a little bit of a heavier bet than you on her, and I think I have even heavier bet than I even wrote on there. So I think she's winning. I think she's a better fighter.
I think your analysis of saying that she respects her too much is probably spot on, and the winning the bigger moments is spot on too, because they've fought twice. Alexa won by finish one time, and the second time dropped her and almost finished her. So the 2 times that this fight was almost finished or actually finished were on the Alexa side. Somebody commented, my favorite bet is Valentina plus 5.5. So I went to Bet Online to find it. It doesn't exist. So it's either on another sports book or people just making shit up. Because I was like, what are the odds? If that's a plus money bet, I do think that's a good bet. She could win 2 rounds or a round and a half, She could make something happen there, but... Yeah,
I got a Alexa at minus 115. I put
so did I. OMG.
$350 on it.
I did not. I put a half a unit. We're both on the Alexa side. $8,300 in DraftKings Fantasy. I think that is a must. You got 5 rounds to work with. I think she can score well with her own wrestling, with the busy striking and a few other things. Alexa Grasso is both of our picks, and we just think the skill gap is closing and things are moving.
Yeah, somebody said too. I mean, she's kind of a point fighter, and you just can't let these point fighters get free minutes. You know what I mean? Like, just let them collect a couple minutes every single round where they're just kind of doing their own thing. You gotta, that's like when you're fighting Izzy. You just gotta fucking get on them, man. You can't let them just stay out there and just let you get in their little flow state and do what they want to do. Same with, we're talking about Manuel Torres on this card and Bahama Mama, right? You got to get in that guy's face. You can't let him stay at distance. Same with Ribovics and fucking Zellhuber. You got to get in that dude's face. You got to pressure these people.
It makes sense. I agree with you. Alexa getting the takedown in the last fight is honestly what did it for me in this one. Because it was like, all right, the only real skill gap there was the wrestling. That's how Valentina has won any of this.
Fucking take her down and just trust. You're the better grappler. Just fucking, it's crazy. Even when Valentina got like a takedown, Grasso snuck through for like a weird ankle lock or a fucking almost like a heel hook at the end of the round. Like trust your fucking, get in this girl's face and just fucking disrespect her. I'm serious. That's it. If I was Alexa's corner, I would tell her just fucking disrespect her. She has nothing for you. Trust your cardio. Trust your talents. Trust your cardio. Okay, yeah, with the pressure, she might get this slick little takedown. But guess what? You're gonna get back to your feet. And you're gonna be all over again.
Listen. I love it. I love it.
I motivate the shit out of people. I told Charles too, because Charles Johnson is our boy. I said when I'm in the apex, I said don't fucking worry about being motivated. I'll fucking motivate you. Trust me. I'm gonna be right next to that fucking cage. I'm gonna be in your fucking ear.
You are. I actually think I would get embarrassed. And not because you're embarrassing. I'm very much like,
Oh, I was fucking, I guarantee I willed Miles Johns to a win on that card. Jarno to a win. I was all over him. He's trying to wrestle, Miles. You're the wrestler, baby. Let's go. He's trying to do what he thinks he's a better wrestler than you. Come on, Miles. And he's like, yeah.
I am the better. I am the better. Yes. I can.
You can fucking hear everything I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it because I don't have that kind of nerve. But it's great that you do it.
I love sports. I love competition. And I was a coach. We're both coaches. That's why I'm surprised you wouldn't do it. I coach fucking high school girls volleyball, and I still was like, obviously had to tone it back a little bit because you don't want to make them cry. But as far as a motivator, you can be like a positive motivator too. Like yeah, come on. Like I'm always in their ear.
Yeah, it is funny because my youngest had her first ever soccer game. How do you think she did? You know her. How do you think she did?
Probably should have fucking dominated.
Yeah, she's fucking giant, dude. She's so tall.
Just knocking people over, laughing at them.
And she is a bully. Dude, she's not afraid of the ball. So she's just right after it, pushing people out of the way, taking the ball, fucking 4 inches taller than everybody out there, fast as hell, cardio for day. I was actually shocked. It's her first ever soccer game.
That Iranian boxer.
Dude, I was like, holy shit. She's cute, though. Jesus Christ. She's a pretty girl.
I don't think it was Iranian, too. I couldn't think of the...
Yeah, can you tell them that she's not a Mongoloid? She's the one who likes you more, too.
She does like me.
Yeah. Anyway, she... where the hell were we going with this? Oh, yelling. I found myself yelling at her. Not like a negative way. I'm like, get at the ball. Back to the net. Kick it out. Where normally I'm very big like, hey, coach is coach. Parents, shut the fuck up. Because when I coach wrestling, parents, shut the fuck up.
Oh, my mom
I am
literally
the
left
licensed
coaching
coach in this
because of
corner.
parents. Man.
Oh, dude. We
They're
wouldn't
the
let him in
worst.
the
They're
room.
the fucking worst, man.
I agree.
Crazy.
For wrestling practice, we wouldn't even let him in the room. Like, you sit outside. Like, no. And you will not. You want to yell, like, come on, Johnny. I don't care. Root for your kid. But if I'm telling your kid to do something and you're yelling something different, like, get the fuck. Well, I'm being paid to do this because I'm better at it than you. Shut your mouth. So I'm with you. But then then my kid plays soccer. I'm like, get after it. Kick the ball out. Anyway, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. Support my child's soccer dreams. Next up, at UFC 306, we have the main event of the evening. This is a spectacular main event. This is a very interesting main event. This is a no-brainer main event. Sean O'Malley defending his belt against the Universal Consensus #1 contender. This fight was announced before Nurmagomedov won his fight. And I love when you get that. I love when you get a very obvious, you get the actual #1. There's no controversy here. You get the best fighter in the world versus the second best fighter in the world, at least as of right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. And we have a clash of styles here because we have Sean O'Malley at 18-1, 4-0-1 in his last 5. And he is coming off of his first title defense. He's taking on Merab Dvalishvili. 17-4 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's on an 8-fight win streak. And it's a clash of styles, as I mentioned, because Sean O'Malley, as we all know, laser pinpoint accurate striker, and Merab Dvalishvili, nonstop come forward wrestler. Are we going to get a technical showcase from Sean or an insane cardio dump performance from Merab? And that's what I love about this matchup. We watch what happens when Sean faces somebody who just comes in recklessly wrestling. We saw him. Jacob called it. He told the world. He put out a Lock of the Week video, and it was one of the, at the time, was that this year, this calendar year? No.
Last summer.
It was last summer? Damn, that's how long it's been. It was a huge Lock of the Week. He called Sean O'Malley to win that fight, and he called the freaking punch he was going to do it in, and that's what happened. And it's literally
back right hand in the second round. And that's
exactly what happened because Aljamain Sterling came in reckless, like an idiot, like a goof, thinking he was just going to get the takedown, and Sean O'Malley, bang. I don't know if that exact same thing is going to happen here. The difference here is that Merab has good takedowns, and Merab won't even try to strike. He doesn't care. It is non-stop wrestling. His cardio is like the backbone of everything that he does. Non-stop pressure, non-stop takedown attempts, non-stop forward movement. I am ultimately going to pick Sean for 2 reasons. One, Merab is chinny as shit. He is chinny as shit. We watched him get chinned, not full-blown knocked out, and I don't think they even credit him with a knockdown. But Henry Cejudo blasted that dude, and he went like this. And Henry Cejudo is a 125-pounder who's like 46 years old. Sean O'Malley has the laser pinpoint accuracy. The second reason is Sean O'Malley's confidence seems through the roof. Merab is going to have to fight a perfect fight for 25 minutes. I've seen Sean be a dog in that Petr Yan fight. I think he lost that fight. But what I didn't see is him quit. I didn't see him give up. He was in a bad way. He came out. He put Petr in a bad way. Sean's got some dog in him. Sean has the upside for a finish. And Sean is the one who can take his time. He can back up. Merab, the only way Merab can win this fight is if he is forward motion for 25 full minutes. We got the staph infection stuff. We got the eye stuff. Too much going on. Sean's going to be the pick. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I was devastated that you guys fucked me, okay? And there's nobody to blame but yourselves, okay? A few weeks ago, I put $500 on Sean O'Malley at plus 115, 120, something like that. The whole plan this week was to have another monster, awesome Sean O'Malley Lock of the Week video. The edit was going to be incredible. There's so many clips. You guys see the edits I'm making these days compared to the first Sean O'Malley edit I made for my Lock of the Week when he was against Aljo. It would have been fucking incredible. And you dumbasses all fucking bet this guy to a fucking favorite. So now I can't pick as my Lock of the Week, but he is still going to be my fucking Lock of the Week because this dude Merab is fucking terrible. The Aljo fight was a much harder fight than Merab because Aljo is a decent point striker. He knows how to kind of close distance a little bit better. He's got a better chin. He's way more dangerous on the ground with his jiu-jitsu. So if he got Sean down and he gets on his back, he has more finishing ability. His entries, I think, are at least a little bit better. He doesn't have the exact takedowns like Merab, but I think his entries were going to be a little bit better. He actually got to the entry on Sean in that first round. Merab is fucking reckless. He is basically the 135 or the 120, well, the 135 fucking Gamrot. And you see when these wrestling people get up to the high level, that reckless bullshit no longer stops. It stops fucking working. But you can't just keep being reckless and almost get knocked out and almost get knocked out. Eventually, Gamrot's gonna get fucking cleaned. Merab is gonna get cleaned in this fight. You look at the people that he's fighting: Cody Stamen, Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, Piotr Jan. These are stationary, high guard boxers that are also fucking 5'2" that just stand in front of them, and Merab can kind of do his little thing and then try to shoot a takedown, and there's no real fucking bouncy switch stancing in and out. Merab is not going to be able to fucking find this guy, and when he tries to find this guy, he's going to eat a right or a left hand or a knee or something different against Sean O'Malley. He's going to get put the fuck out. Merab has bought into all his fucking hype bullshit already. This guy's acting like he's the champ already. He's the social media guy. He's buying into all this fucking his own hype, doing the Mexico stuff. There's nothing wrong with that because you have to promote yourself as a fighter. But I don't think this guy is the same guy mentally as the grinding Merab as he was coming up in Sarah Longo's camp. And even Sarah Longo said, because he's not there anymore, was like, this dude's going to have to fucking eat shots to get these takedowns. And he's not proven that he can eat shots before. And when you're trying to eat shots versus Sean O'Malley, you're getting put the fuck out. I'm willing to look stupid on this. I think Merab is not very good. I think it is an easier matchup than Aljo, and I think Sean shows up and shows out, and we get the matchup of the century. Just like Conor and Khabib, we have Sean and Umar fucking smokes them. So
what's funny is the social media thing is true. You got to promote yourself, but what's funny is he's got, so Merab, as you guys, if you've seen any of his social media, he's got some dudes, either a friend or somebody that looks exactly like Sean O'Malley, does his hair like, looks exactly like him, and he uses them in all his skits. What happens to that guy after this? Just, that's it?
You know what's funny about that is I forgot that he has that guy, and in the embedded, that guy shows up and they're watching Sean O'Malley's last fight. I think it was the Cheeto fight, and it's Merab, it's Merab's coach. I can't remember what his name is, the guy at Syndicate. Merab, and then this guy, and they showed it for a split second, and I'm like, why the fuck would Sean O'Malley be eating dinner? I literally, because it was like the embedded, it was like boom, and I was like half watching, I was like, why is Sean O'Malley hanging out watching his own film while because they were like breaking it down, like, oh, he's doing this. I'm like, Sean's just fucking sitting there listening to them break down his own fight, and I was like, oh, that's not Sean.
Yeah, like I don't know if that dude is just a prop, like he just looks like him, or he's like a teammate that they made look like. I don't know what the deal is, but I also don't know what happens to that guy come Monday. Like, you're just going to keep trolling Sean O'Malley forever. I'm
going to say this, too. I think there's a world. People are like, Sean by KO or Merab by points. I think there's a world where Sean wins a decision, where maybe he is getting taken down, but he's getting back to his feet, and he's out toughing these. He's shown he can go wrestlers. 5 rounds, and he's active in his jiu-jitsu and gets back up, and he's having the bigger moments on the feet, and this is kind of a back-and-forth war, and I think Sean by points isn't out of the question. Especially the way that some of these judges have been judging fights with wrestlers. Like, if you're just taking people down and they get back up and you're not really controlling them, you're just kind of holding on to them, the judges fucking hate that.
We've been saying it for a while. Vegas hates wrestlers. They just hate them. And Merab is, to your point, not dangerous. He's but he's not elbowing. He's not making you pay. He's taking you down. He's hanging out. He's racking up minutes. So this is a great, I'm looking forward to this card. This is a good main event. Anybody who's making clickbait videos saying that this card sucks, that's what it is. It's a clickbait video. This is a good card. I wish there were more fights, right? 10's not really that many.
Yeah,
but it's a good card.
It's gonna fucking really suck.
Yeah, they might have some sneaky backups, but because they can't have a 9-fight card. They can't do that. But either way, I also am hoping
Thank you, Dan. He's
I'm
ready.
also yes, I let's hear it. I also hope that all the Sphere stuff comes through on the broadcast. I hope it is a different. I don't want the broadcast to be the same.
On the countdown, because the UFC countdown. I don't know if you guys watch the countdown, but they're fucking fantastic. But the beginning of the countdown was talking about the Sphere, and they said they want to make sure that the at-home audience has as good of an experience as the whatever. So yeah, they talked about that. So
yeah, good, because that's like, I get it. You got to sell tickets and all that shit, but like, okay, this is a cool event where you can do completely different things. On my screen at home, I want it to look different. Give me different graphics, a different experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Jakey Boy's looking forward to it. And if you want to become a premium member, it's freaking $10 a month. Not only is it just an amazing way to support us and all the hard work that goes into this. I mean, this is 7 days a week on a good week. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. You're also going to get picks, bets, tools, and more. Couple of super chats. Dylan with the 5 Canadian says, any other methods of payment that you take? PayPal got banned. His, not ours. And credit card won't work. That's it. I mean, I don't know why your credit card won't work. The only thing we could do is if you wanted to pay for a year up front, which is discounted, it's $100, then I could accept like a Venmo or a Cash App, but not for $10 because we have almost 4,000 premium members and I can't be manually. I could do a year. And
also,
then
somebody said Sean's a clown. Sean is like the most, honestly, like a very normal guy. I mean, I know he's like not really, he knows he's not really good at trash talk and stuff. And I know he looks like the flamboyant, like in your face type of guy. And he does like the Instagram skits and stuff like that. But he's kind of a pretty normal dude. And he has, and I try to warn everybody before the Aljo fight. This dude has tricked people into thinking he doesn't fucking work hard. This dude fucking works his ass off.
That piece I agree with. I don't know. I mean, he like, him and his wife have an open relationship, which will always be weird to me. But personality-wise, he is pretty.
And the embedded on a lot of the embedded's been with him and his daughter, and he seems like an incredible dad. So
he does seem very level-headed and like normal for a guy that looks like that. As
that's what I'm saying. He's like, just
100%. $5 super chat from Mookie. I've got a bag on O'Malley. We making money. That's the Jacob song. Guys, we appreciate you hanging out. We flexed to 900, almost 1,000 live viewers on a random Wednesday night breaking this card down.
Like the stream.
We appreciate every last one of you. Like the stream, do all the things. We will be filming a vlog on Saturday. Hopefully Jacob has a change of tune, comes over, watches the fight with the boys.
Nope.
Maybe. He said he might. And here's your last premium pitch. Unlock the tools, the bets, the picks, data analyzer, prop hunter, the line movement tracker, the DraftKings optimizer, all my bets, Jacob's bets, safety parlay, the artificial intelligence, Artem, giving you breakdowns, picks, and bets for all the promotions, not just UFC. And then if you want $50, we'll send you $50. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We'll send you $50 as a thank you. Any last words?
Lock the Week video is already out, so go watch that, support that. No live stream Saturday, and so we'll see you next week.
There are no fights next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.